growing up, your parents, how they live out the faith really impact you, and it's been a blessing. Can you give some examples? What you mean by that? Is it about taking you to church? Is it about reading the Bible? Is it about their lifestyle?
It's all of the above. They were very involved, meaning going to church maybe 3 to 4 times a week, and felt like my brother and I were dragged along, and we just played with our friends as our parents were involved, whether through choir, Bible studies, etc. But also at home, they tell us to read the Bible, but they're also reading the Bible. They're telling us to be kind to others, and we kind of see the way they interact with others. And so fortunately, we see that they're not living a two-faced life that honestly many Christians can have. And so it's just a huge blessing to see my parents, the way they lived at home, the way they lived at church and in their workplace, and it was consistent. And so I'm very thankful to see that. And right now it's a goal to always live that way as well. Am I the same Jeremy at church, at work, at home, with my friends? And so it's not always easy to do, but I had some great examples before me.
Amen. So it's really walking the talk, and that you see it not just in words, but also in actions, right? And that's a big impact, and that's so true. And when you mentioned how to practice, and it's everyday and growing experience, can you give some examples how you practice your faith in the workplace? How can it come alive? I'm sure we're faced with multiple challenges in a world with value that may not always be biblical.
Yeah, so this is an everyday challenge, and everyday level of success changes quite a bit. But essentially, I'm communicating with 20 to 50 people on any given day, maybe 20 patients, interacting with 20 nurses and some of my colleagues and other doctors. And so I think communication is key, and not just the words you say, but the way you say it. And so treating everyone with kindness, with respect, never being short with anyone. And so I think it becomes very apparent to any coworker that you work with, the way you treat patients, the way you treat your colleagues and interact with them and speak to them. And so I think it's very easy for other coworkers to know your character. And so it's always, gratifying to hear, if someone gives me positive feedback saying, oh, thanks, Dr. Kim, for speaking to the patient in that manner and answering all those questions. That was very kind of you. That's great to have those positive reinforcements. Of course, there are moments where, I go home and I wish my interaction, my communication with a patient or with a nurse went in a different way. And so it is a challenge every single day, every single minute. It's a different interaction. So it's not easy to do, but something to strive for.
I love that. You're just so down to earth and grounded. And I heard the word communication from the very beginning when you first started. And now you again emphasize the importance of communication. And for me, I do a lot of leadership training and teaching. And next year, I'm going to focus a lot on communication, because whatever you do, how you communicate and how you lead really is reflected by how you talk to people. And I love your value that you shared: respect, kindness, and your attitude and your action really come through consistently. So we open to the young people if you have questions to ask Jeremy or Dr. Kim. So how about growing up throughout your whole life so far, your young life, relatively young, what would be some pivotal moments, that particular stage that really shaped you? Or I'm sure